WikiLeaks' release of classified information has generated a lot of attention worldwide in the past few weeks. The hysterical reaction makes one wonder if this is not an example of killing the messenger for the bad news. Despite what is claimed, information so far released, though classified, has caused no known harm to any individual, but it has caused plenty of embarrassment to our government. Losing a grip on our empire is not welcomed by the neoconservatives in charge. There is now more information confirming that Saudi Arabia is a principal supporter and financier of al-Qaeda, and this should set off alarm bells since we guarantee its Sharia-run government. This emphasizes even more the fact that no al-Qaeda existed in Iraq before 9/11, and yet we went to war against Iraq based on the lie that it did. It has been charged by self-proclaimed experts that Julian Assange, the internet publisher of this information, has committed a heinous crime deserving prosecution for treason and execution or even assassination. But should we not at least ask how the U.S. government can charge an Australian citizen with treason for publishing U.S. secret information that he did not steal? And if WikiLeaks is to be prosecuted for publishing classified documents, why shouldn't the Washington Post, the New York Times, and others that have also published these documents be prosecuted? Actually, some in Congress are threatening this as well. The New York Times, as a result of a Supreme Court ruling, was not found guilty in 1971 for the publication of the Pentagon Papers. Daniel Ellsberg never served a day in prison for his role in obtaining these secret documents. The Pentagon Papers were also inserted into the congressional record by Senator Mike Gravel, with no charges being made of breaking any national security laws. Yet the release of this classified information was considered illegal by many, and those who lied us into the Vietnam War and argued for its prolongation were outraged. But the truth gained from the Pentagon Papers revealed that lies were told about the Gulf of Tonkin attack, which perpetuated a sad and tragic episode in our history. Just as with the Vietnam War, the Iraq War was based on lies. We were never threatened by weapons of mass destruction or al-Qaeda in Iraq, though the attack on Iraq was based on this false information. Any information that challenges the official propaganda for the war in the Middle East is unwelcome by the administration and supporters of these unnecessary wars. Few are interested in understanding the relationship of our foreign policy and our presence in the Middle East to the threat of terrorism. Revealing the real nature and goal of our presence in so many Muslim countries is a threat to our empire, and any revelation of this truth is highly resented by those in charge. Questions to consider. Do the American people deserve to know the truth regarding the ongoing war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Yemen? Number two, could a larger question be, how can an Army private gain access to so much secret information? Number three, why is the hostility mostly directed at Assange, the publisher, and not our government's failure to protect classified information? Number four, are we getting our money's worth from the $80 billion per year we spend on intelligence gathering? Number five, which has resulted in the greatest number of deaths? Lying us into war, or WikiLeaks revelations, or the release of the Pentagon Papers? If Assange can be convicted of a crime for publishing information that he did not steal, what does this say about the future of the First Amendment and the independence of the Internet? Number seven, could it be that the real reason for the near universal attacks on WikiLeaks is more about secretly maintaining a seriously flawed foreign policy of empire than it is about national security? Number eight, is there not a huge difference between releasing secret information to help the enemy in the time of declared war, which is treason, and the releasing of information to expose our government lies that promote secret wars, death, and corruption? Number nine, was it not once considered patriotic to stand up to our government when it's wrong? Thomas Jefferson had it right when he advised, "Let the eyes of vigilance never be closed." And I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Mr. DeFazio of Oregon.
Only $13.60 a barrel myself.
Corrupt governments of the world, we are anonymous.
For some time now, voices have been crying out in unison against the new ACTA laws.
The gross inadequacies of the new laws being passed internationally have been pointed out repeatedly.
Our chief complaint is that such measures would restrict people's access to the internet.
In these modern times, access to the internet is fast becoming a basic human right. Just like any other basic human right, we believe that it is wrong to infringe upon it.
To threaten to cut people off from the global consciousness as you have is criminal and abhorrent. To move to censor content on the internet based on your own prejudice is at best laughably impossible.
The unjust restrictions you impose on us will meet with disaster and only strengthen our resolve to disobey and rebel against your tyranny. Such actions taken against you, and those you outsource your malignant litigation to, are inevitable, unavoidable and unstoppable.
We are anonymous. We are legion
And divided by zero.
We do not forgive internet censorship, and we do not forget free speech.
We are over 9,000.
Expect us.
Okay, it's almost time to end for the day, but until we meet again, a few questions remain. Is Wikileaks really the greatest threat that we face, or is it the response we're seeing in defense of the state? A response which is building and seeks to turn back the clock on freedom of speech and fundamental rights earned over a century. This should ring alarm bells for all who know their history. From this evidence, are we neglecting our memory and repeating the trajectory of the 20th century? And if so, upon seeing the facts but ceasing to act, don't we deserve the leaders we have? What needs to befall before we open the door and yell, "I'm mad as hell, I'm not gonna take it anymore"? Or do we sit waiting for messiahs or aliens or a superhero if they're not all one and the same meme? History, dear viewers, is happening. Will we ever get a similar chance again? History books will be written about events this month. The story they will tell?
is not our goal to achieve a more transparent society. It's our goal to achieve a more just society. And most of the times, transparency and openness tends to lead in that direction because abusive plans or behavior get opposed. It's quite interesting. When we first started, we thought we would have the analytical work done by bloggers and people who wrote Wikipedia articles and so on, and we thought that was a natural, given that we have lots of quality, important content. We don't have targets other than organisations that use secrecy to conceal unjust behaviour. That's sort of a general target. Otherwise, we are completely source dependent. We are a source protection organisation and a publishing protection organisation. Quite a bit of our effort historically has been taking articles from journalists who were censored.
Hello. This is a classified message from Anonymous. Mass publication is strictly recommended. After numerous attacks on the truth-spilling platform of Wikileaks, including the shutdown of its financing, we have already made it very clear that we will fight for freedom of speech and a free press. But we have, at best, given them the black eye. The game has changed. When the game changes, so too must our strategies. We are now moving forward to phase 2 of our war on disinformation terror, introducing Operation Leak Spin. Become part of the hive and join a fight we can only win with information. Begin searching through WikiLeaks. Find only the best, least exposed leaks you can get your hands on. Post summaries of them, along with the complete source. Encourage the reader to read more. Make 1 to 2 minute YouTube videos reading the leaks. Use misleading tags. Post snippets of the leaks everywhere on the internet. Remember, we are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget.